Welcome to Puck Time for the 2025-2026 NHL season right here on WagerTalk TV. Myself, Andrew McInnis, and Carmine Bianco. You can catch us every single weekday right here, 11 a.m. Eastern, breaking down games, looking at sides, totals, props, same game parlays, all kinds of great stuff right here on WagerTalk TV. We want to hear from you guys. We want to hear from all the comments, and we look forward to cashing tickets with you all season long. We have 3 games to break down here today. We're going to look at all kinds of stuff, all kinds of little situations, props, and all kinds of stuff that goes into tonight's games. And towards the end of the show, you guys ask us any questions in the live comments. We'll put them up on the screen, and we'll do our best to answer them. I got to bring in my partner in crime, Mr. Carmine Bianco. What's up, Carm? How are you?
Oh man, I'm super excited. The NHL finally kicks off. This is the best time of the year, Andrew. Sports, like everything is there. NHL kicking off. The NFL is in full gear. The baseball playoffs are going on. The Blue Jays and the Yankees tonight. College football, the World Cup right around the corner. Everything is there. Basketball, and then college basketball starts. Everything is there. What a time, as they say. What a time to be alive. And I see our regular pucksters are in there. Tony Tucci, how you doing, man? I haven't seen that name in a while. Guys, we love having you in here, pucksters. All the WagerTalk insiders, great to have you guys as well, too. And if you haven't already done so, I'm going to harp on it just once and once only on today's show. Hit that subscribe button and join the ever-growing community here at WagerTalk. Over 220,000 subscribers. Man, I would love to hit 250 by the end of the year. So if you have a YouTube account, hit subscribe. If you have a couple troll accounts, use those ones.
Use those too.
Subscribe.
Use those
well
too.
Use those too. Every little bit helps. Andrew, before we get into it, I just want to let people know the format this year for Puck Time, for anyone who didn't tune in last night to your great show that you're going to be doing live each and every night, I believe. But the format is going to be something similar to WagerTalk today. You guys spoke last year and talked about the fact that you guys wanted to hopefully get more games covered. So this is how we're going to do it. Andrew and I, every single day, we're going to break down 3 games, and then we're going to bring in guests, sometimes 1, sometimes 2 on a show. Buster's away this week, but Prez and Brian will be on Thursday's show. They'll come on one at a time. Each one will break down a game, and you get 5 games broken down for the big Thursday card. Our 6 and 60 returns. Andrew's going to have a same game parlay segment that goes on all season long. Hopefully we make some money there. And I'm going to have a bankroll, not a bankroll challenge, basically a bankroll play of the day every single day, win or lose. You guys are going to see the stats up on the screen on how that is doing. It'll normally be like 2% of the bankroll, and we will try and hit some winners. You want to fade, you want to follow, or just sit back and entertain yourselves by watching the show and the games. I've got it for you. So we got you covered, and we're going to have a great time. And then once, I always talk about swag, Andrew, and then we're going to get going. Once this dumb postal strike is done north of the border, we'll be doing some swag giveaways.
For sure.
It seems like every year, just before the Christmas, the last couple of months, they go on strike. They ruin small businesses, but that's another topic for another day. So
I love this comment here. New season. It's like a freshly slate of ice, freshly scraped surface. How sweet it is to start a new NHL season. Shout out to Rich H. And you're right. It feels like a clean slate. You know, we all enjoyed our summers. We had a lot of fun. You go to the lake, you go to the beach, you do whatever, but now we're ready to lock in. And as you mentioned, Carm, we got a packed house right now on YouTube, on X. We're going to give you guys more picks. We're going to do our job. We're going to try and give you guys more picks this year. You guys have to do your job for us and hit the like button and just comment, engage. And of course, you can find Carm and I at wagertalk.com, wt.buzz/CB or AM for our profile pages. Carm, everyone keeps wondering and asking me, who's going to win the cup? Who's going to win the cup? Who are your future picks? You know what my pick is? Anybody but Florida. Anybody but Florida. That's my pick for you. Let's start
Come
things
on,
off with our first
man.
game here. Chicago and the Florida Panthers. Banner night in Florida. And well, they didn't really give them a tough matchup as far as their first opponent of the season. We'll see if they're lacking any focus, though. Two big injuries, of course, for this team, Barkov and Tkachuk. What do you think? Game one of the 2025-2026 NHL season.
Yeah, I get your anyone but Florida sentiment, Andrew, and just a small aside. Uh, Keep in mind, guys, the games today, these are Eastern times, are spread apart. So you can watch all three games. 5:00 game, this game here that we're talking about, an 8:00 game, which is the Rangers and Penguins, and then 10:30, which is the LA Kings and Colorado. So they spaced it out so you can watch about 7 hours of hockey. God bless the NHL for finally getting something right on opening cup night. Andrew, I get your sentiment about the Florida Panthers. It is when it's not your team winning, you hate one team dominating. It's just the way it is in any sport. This is why the New England Patriots got so much hate. This is why the Kansas City Chiefs got so much hate. Hey, listen, I get the whole salary cap thing. They didn't do anything wrong. They worked within the rules.
I'm just joking.
And they live in a tax-free state, which is great for them as well too. But God bless them. I think this year is going to be a little tougher on them because of the Barkov thing, because the Nosek thing, and of course Matthew Tkachuk, who all start on the IR. So we'll see. But it's next man up syndrome for this or thing for this Florida Panthers team. And the Stanley Cup, if you guys wonder, on banner raising nights, the team lifting the banner, of course, is since 1979, 28, 13, and 4, a win rate of 0.663. So 66.33% of the time the team raising the banner wins. The last 3 years, Andrew, Colorado lifted the banner, beat the Chicago Blackhawks. I believe it was like 5-2. 2 years ago, it was the Vegas Golden Knights, I believe, beating the Seattle Kraken, if I remember correctly. And then last year it was the Florida Panthers beating the Boston Bruins, and now they get the Chicago Blackhawks out. These are going to be some tough games because I always say tread lightly the first few weeks of the NHL season. Because the teams you expect to be bad aren't always bad right from the get-go. We saw it with Chicago last year. We saw it with Anaheim last year. They won some games early on. And those ones, you want to be a little careful because they can sort of be bankroll busters early on in the season if you're laying way too much vig. And this is too much vig for me, Andrew, on this one. You can look at options of, say, taking Florida in regulation if you really want to take tonight's game, or some type of a correlated one with if you like the over 5.5 goals in it, you can take Florida with the over and bring that price right down. Only four of the last 45 games have gone to overtime, where if you had a regulation bet, you would lose. So that is not bad. That is less than 10%, about 9% of the time. So that is not a bad way to go. I still like Florida. Andrew, they're a good team. Would it surprise me if the Chicago Blackhawks win tonight? No, not at all. It would not at all. Spencer Knight returning back to Florida and he played well for Chicago when they picked him up. So does he come back to haunt Bobrovsky and the Florida Panthers tonight? I'm not necessarily sure that's going to happen. I'm probably going to lean to the over here. Just because it's such an emotional night. Maybe Florida gets off to a slow start after the Stanley Cup raising ceremonies. But you look at the history of the last 4, 5, 6 banner raising nights, and then been some higher scoring games. Sometimes it takes a while to get there. And case in point, I'm not sure if you guys remember Tampa Bay against Pittsburgh. That game was 1-0, I believe, for Pittsburgh going into the third period and finished 6-4 or something like that, 6-2. 4 empty net goals, 2 goals scored with the goalie pulled as well too. It was an insane game that turned a dead under into an easy over.
And that's why we love live betting. When it works, it works. And some of these games start slow. I remember last year, Carm, we'll get to this game tomorrow, but Montreal-Toronto had like a million chances in the game, and the game finished 1-0. Montembeault had I think 50 saves for the Montreal Canadiens. I think it's a good time to mention this, though, that Ralph Michaels gave us this earlier. And if guys, you use these notes and these stats and these trends to help your case. You don't need to bank your bets off of these, but since 2016 NHL games, number one of the season with a total of 6 or lower, so 5.5, 153, 73, and 17 over under. That's 61.2% to the over in game ones. Now, Carm, depending on who you talk to, people have different takes at this, but I'm still a big believer that the offenses are caught up. The defenses aren't nearly as much. Now, maybe this is a lazy take, but I don't think it is. The Florida Panthers have had a ton of intense games recently. I'm talking 2 Stanley Cup runs, 2 Stanley Cup victories. How do you think they're going to feel of a Chicago Blackhawks matchup to open up the night? I mean, don't get me wrong. These guys are athletes. These guys want to win every night. But you're going to try and convince me that if this was the Edmonton Oilers they were playing tonight, they wouldn't care a bit more, just a bit more. Or if it was the Tampa Bay Lightning, we saw that craziness that went on in the preseason. They care just a little bit more. So I think they're going to be lacking defensively, not as much offensively. And the Barkov injury, let's not forget, guys, the Barkov injury hurts them defensively and not, I wouldn't say not as much offensively, but the Barkov injury hurts them defensively. So, guys, for me, first bet of the season, free play of the day. This is a 3% client play. Run the first period over 1.5 goals here. I see at least 2 goals in the first period. Last year, banner raising night for the Florida Panthers finished with a score of 6-4. We got 10 goals in the first game of the Florida Panthers season last time out. I'll tell you what else I like. I like the first period team total over for the Chicago Blackhawks. I don't have it in me. I don't have it in me to bet the money line or anything like that for this Hawks team. I don't. But first period over half a goal is -110. Over 1.5 goals, -117. Guys, let's get off to a good start. Let's see goals from both teams. Let's get an action-packed start here. We had a comment, somebody was mentioning, Carm, about the 10-minute delay for these teams. For the banner raising, not only do they announce the lineup for the whole, it's kind of annoying. They announce the entire medical staff, the training staff, every single coach that's on that team, every player, starting or not. That's like a 10, 15-minute delay. Sometimes that can happen. Shout out to Perlo. He says, love the first period over and Hawks to score first period. Well, Perlo, those are the 2 bets that I'm on. So hopefully those 2 cash, Carm. But here we go. Carmine, your number 1 fan right off the bat. Andrew's giving out.
I love Hal, man. Hal's
go.
the greatest. I'm going to answer a couple of quick questions in the chat. Annabelle says, are we reading our messages in the chat? We are, but we are, Andrew's producing the show today. So we're taking it easy on him. He can't be answering questions in the chat. We will try and answer some questions at the end of the show. And when he goes to me, the last thing you guys want to see me doing is looking down at my phone, typing a message to reply. The best bets will be part of the show. But initially, early on, the season has just started. It is tough to start popping out best bets. We're just going to give you our thoughts on games, give you leans. I think is the best way to go, because sometimes someone tuning in for the very first time and watching PuckTime that's come across us on YouTube will watch these and take everything at okay, they really like this this Chicago first period over. I'm gonna pound this game. Give it some time, guys. Yeah, let's just play out the season. This is like the Boston Marathon. You have to take it easy. It's like the Boston Marathon where that guy sprints out for the first kilometer or first mile. He's like, I'm in front at the Boston Marathon. And then
I'm in first place.
Mile 2 he is in the back of an ambulance being taken to one of the hospitals. I'm in first place. That's just it. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll wait for some trends to take effect. You know what I mean? Like last year, I didn't think the Washington Capitals, and I know Wash Redskins is in our chat. I didn't think the Washington Capitals were going to be as good as they were. But my God, they didn't just start winning. They continued to win all season long. Kudos to that team. So that is a trend, or that is something that you need to look at. Are teams that were sort of middle of the pack, that had good off seasons, had good preseasons, are they ready to take the next step forward? Sometimes it may take you 5 to 6 games to get there, to realize it, but to do it from day one is very tough. So that's why I'm I'm on player prop mode for today's show instead of sides. But I do think the over in the Chicago game, it's at 5.5. If it was at 6, I wouldn't touch it. At 5.5,
good player prop game.
Yeah.
Good player prop game. All right, guys, keep the comments flooding. We got to get through to the next games. Keep the comments coming. One more I'll mention, because I wanted to mention this anyway. Is anyone considering Chicago plus 1.5? What's up, occupancy? My thing for this would be, you guys know I like the first period in this game. I personally believe the better bet would be the plus a half goal in the first period. Because that way, if it goes, you get out 1-1, you get out unscathed, you get the win. Draw or win, you get, obviously, occupancy. You know how that bet works. I would think that's where the edge is. The edge in this game with the Hawks is in the first period, not in the full game. From where I'm sitting, Carm, I have these to pull up just really quick. I thought I did. We'll see. There we go. These are the lines for the games: Burakovsky, Bedard, Donato, Bertuzzi, Nazar, Teravainen. So look, someone's got to score. Someone's got to play with Bedard. I think Ryan Donato shot props could be good. Frank Nazar is going to be good this year. We'll see. But someone's got to produce there with them. And this is what it looks like right now for the Florida Panthers. Up the middle, Bennett, Lundell, Rodriguez, and Luke Kunin on the bottom there. I think Marchand, right winger, Reinhart on the right wing. For some reason, I can't explain why, but the Chicago Blackhawks have given up a ton of shots against right wingers. I don't know. I looked at that last night. So interesting stuff here, guys. Always look at some of these lineups to help make your props, because that can help you the most. And I'll tell you, one that I noticed, Reinhart over 3.5 shots on goal. It's plus 130. He's hit this in 5 of his last 6 home games and 4 of the last 5 games against the Chicago Blackhawks. All right. I'm done, Carm. I'm done with this game.
All right.
I'm all good.
No,
I'm all good.
but listen, I get it, Andrew. And, if we rely on some of the data from last season, the Chicago Blackhawks were one of the top 3 teams last year in shots on goal allowed. Whether that changes, whether with the coaching being different, whether that changes, remains to be seen. But they were, and that's why I took that last night when we had that show. I took the Carter Verhaeghe over 2.5 shots. It was minus 140. It's still a lot of vig to lay, but it's sort of that next man up in Florida. And you look at the lineup that you put up there, and it's just hard to fathom that even missing Matthew Tkachuk, Barkov, that's what the team looks like. They still have a lot of depth on it, and these guys are signed for a while. So I'm anxious to see if Chicago gets some power plays. I want to see the Bedard, Teravainen hookup. I think on the power play, those two are going to click on the power play. So it remains to be seen whether it happens right out of the gate, game 1. As far as the first period over and the game total goes, I would love to see it happen.
Look, last year, I took the year off pretty much from giving out player props to clients. This summer, I've kind of figured out how I want to approach it. And funny enough, I know people don't like parlays, but I'm going to be doing some same game parlays, whether it's 1, 2, or 3 legs. And you talked about the Teravainen and Bedard hookup. Every player has their guy they connect with. And I think even on bad teams like Chicago, you're going to be able to find some guys that, hey, if this guy scores, this guy gets the assist. If that guy gets the assist, that guy scores. So great stuff here, Carm. Let's move on to Pittsburgh and the New York Rangers. You gave out on my show last night a really good future. If you don't mind, Carm, would you bring it up here for the New York Rangers? It was a really good one. I love it. I'm probably going to tail you on it. But of course, another hefty price tag. The New York Rangers, high expectations going into this season. And I really don't know anybody, not a single soul, that likes anything to do with the Pittsburgh Penguins this year, and for good reason. What do you have for us on this one? And if you don't mind, Carm, what's that future you have for us?
Yeah, so I'm going to mention two of them, two futures that you guys can look at in this game, and then just give a quick opinion on the game, because I think regardless of that 220 price, it almost feels like this game is a coin flip. The 220 is enough to keep me off the game. But with that said, I was on Monday's Wager Talk today with Andy Lang, and this is one of the client plays that I have as a season-long play. And the second one that I'm going to mention will also be a very small client play. But I took the Pittsburgh Penguins and released them at under 78.5 points. It's now 76.5. So clients got a full 2 points, which is a victory, which is huge with season totals if they got on that one early. It's a rebuilding year for this Pittsburgh team, Andrew. It's a retooling season, not really a rebuilding year, but it is an old team. You look at it, it's a new coach, Dan Muse, because we're going to talk about where their coach is, Cross on the Rangers bench. But you have Crosby, fantastic players, going to have a break, another awesome year. 38 years old, Letang 38, Malkin 39, Carlson 35, Brian Rust 33, and Rust won't be playing tonight. It is tough. And I said on last night's show that I honestly believe that if the Pittsburgh Penguins are near the bottom of the Eastern standings, which I believe they're going to be, that at the trade deadline, Sidney Crosby becomes a rental player. They move him somewhere to a playoff-bound team that is looking to shore it up. And then he just returns to Pittsburgh in the offseason to finish out his career there. And especially if they get the number 1 pick in the draft and they get McKenna, he is a perfect mentor for McKenna. So we'll see if that happens or not. But we're on record here, October 7th. The other one is, and we saw with Washington last year, a team that didn't look good the previous season, had a fantastic season. Their coach wins. They get into the playoffs. They finish first overall, and their coach wins the Jack Adams. Mike Sullivan goes from Pittsburgh to the Rangers, a team that clearly disappointed last season, gave up a ton of shots, left Shesterkin out to dry on most nights. Adam Fox did not have a good season last year. They need to bounce back this season, and if they do and make the playoffs and finish in one of the top 2 spots in that Metropolitan, he is going to win the Jack Adams, and he's 22-1.
I just love the price on that. That is awesome. Look, I'll come out and say it. I gave out 12-1 Marty St. Louis. It was as high as 14-1. And you guys know I'm a Habs fan, but I love that number. But Mike Sullivan, look, if we can be real here for a second, guys, the Metropolitan Division overall was not good last year. The Metropolitan Division seems to get exposed every single season in the playoffs. Am I wrong, Carm? I mean, the Capitals, they beat the Canadiens, they lose. The Hurricanes, every single year, the Hurricanes win 1 round, and then they lose in round 2. It's not acceptable. I mean, when is the last time we've seen a Metropolitan Division team do something? This team... this division, yeah, sure, you can be good within your own division. And then last year with the Rangers not making the playoffs, it was really, really tough for them. But yeah, I'll tell you, one prop that I like here in this one, Carm, is Ricard Raquel. He's a player, just bringing up the lineups here for you guys. No Brian Rust to start things out for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Let's be completely honest. This lineup is looking rough right now for Pittsburgh. But as we always say, someone's got to shoot the puck. Someone's got to score here. And I want somebody that's a running mate with Sidney Crosby. It's not easy to play with Sidney Crosby. I don't know why. Maybe there's one player, Carm, that now plays for Tampa that the Penguins refuse to pay money to that really they could use right now. His name is Jake Gensel. They could use that guy
Yes.
right now. And
They
unfortunately, it's
certainly could.
Ricard Raquel. So here it is. Ricard Raquel over 2.5 shots on goal plus 100. Ricard Raquel, anytime point minus 154. If you don't like the minus 154, just play that over 2.5 shots on goal plus 100. But I do like that player point prop as well, minus 154. Look, guys, sometimes when you bet these top lines to get a point, you're going to have to lay a little bit of vig. That's just how it is. Unless you're betting third line guys, you're going to have to really, get some of that. But over 2.5 shots on goal plus 100 for a guy playing next to Sidney Crosby. Ricard Raquel, guys, 3 of his last 4 games. He hit this last season, and he does very well in this matchup against the New York Rangers. Carm, before we get to the next game, you and I did want to mention something that we have going right now. Look, all of you guys watching, all of you guys that are here watching Puck Time with us every single day, every single year, we appreciate you. Our best bets, our favorite plays are over at WagerTalk.com. Right now, available at the website, we have 7-day packages available, 1-month packages available. But for a limited time, promo code NHL200 takes $200 off full season passes for myself, WT.buzz/AM, for Carmine, WT.buzz/CB. This year, I'm going to be giving out same game parlays, props, sides, totals, team totals. We earned over 20 units last year in the regular season. I'm not even happy with that. I want to do much better than that, especially this year with me giving out props. So you guys can get all the content you want with the pre-scout 10 p.m. Eastern, with Puck Time 11 a.m. Eastern. But best bets, favorite plays of the day available at WagerTalk.com. And Carm, it's also $5 Tuesday over at WagerTalk.
Yeah. Yes, it is. That's a great deal because there's so much hockey every single day of the week, pretty much. And then that carries you into the Stanley Cup playoffs. So when we're talking full seasons, we're pretty much talking full seasons. We're going from beginning of October to June. That is about as much sports as you can get. So I think that is a great deal that they have at Wager Talk, and $5 customer appreciation day as well too. So you can get a ton of plays. I have an NFL play up for Sunday's action. Andrew, a quick note on this game here. If the total's been fluctuating between 5.5 and 6. I see some 6s there. I see that DraftKings has 6.5, but it is really shaded to the under, laying $1.30, $1.40. I'm not laying that on a total. A player prop that I like is I'm going to take under the total of 2.5 for Mika Zibanejad. It is. We're going to see if Mike Sullivan is putting in a new game plan in New York to protect their goalie and play a more defensive style. And I was leaning to the under in this game, but I just could not pull the trigger at 6 because it could very well land on a 4-2 game. So I'll probably take 1 or 2 player props, but I wanted to make sure that I at least gave something out that I'm looking at playing to people who are watching live or later on this afternoon when it is uploaded.
Yeah, we'll be giving out player props all year. And of course, guys, tread lightly with your units, tread lightly with your best bets. Be smart with opening night, but also if you see spots you like, feel free to fire. I got a 4% play, and it's for $5 Tuesday. So my favorite play of the day, just $5 at Wager Talk. The rest of my plays, all access. Going to also have a player prop package up as well. But you're better off just buying 7 days of NHL. Get a sample size of what I do, and then you can join me for a month or for the full season with that great deal. All right, Carm. Last game of the night, Colorado Avalanche, LA Kings. We have 2 massive, massive favorites, and then we got to pick them. You got to love that to end things off here. The Kings and the Avalanche. I'll say this. I mean, Colorado dealt with some drama last year. That's kind of what I've been saying when I talk about this team with the whole Mikko Rantanen thing, with trading him away, getting Netchus back, and now they're kind of in the same situation. But the continuity of this team, I think, is good for them. Landeskog is back. They're pretty healthy on the front end and the back end. Their goalie, they got a good goalie now. But the LA Kings, man, they've got depth as well. I think that's the biggest key for this Kings team is if they can have their depth on full display, they're going to be a really good team. Only issue I have with them is their defensive core. Like if you look at their defensemen, it's not great. If we go through the bottom, Mikey Anderson, Drew Doughty, Brian Dumoulin, Brant Clark, Edmondson, and Cody Ceci. I mean, Brant Clark being on that defensive core is like me being at a bar with you and Prez. He's bringing down the age. He's bringing down the average age there. That's how he's around a bunch of guys 20 years older than him, Brant Clark. He was on the World Junior team like 4 years ago. So I do worry about LA's defensive ability. What do you think about this game? Another 5.5 total here.
Yeah, towards the second half of the season, Andrew, they were a tough team to play against at home. Very good, but they had some struggles early on, road and at home. So we'll see how they are out of the gate, and that's always tough. I'm, and this is not because of edibles, because I don't take them, but I am high on the Colorado Avalanche this season. And the Western Conference is so tough. There's so many good teams in the Western Conference. The Vegas Golden Knights seem to be everyone's favorite. You still have a very good Winnipeg team and an Edmonton team, Dallas Stars. You have to navigate your way through it. But I love the fact that we have a full season of Landeskog. I think they pretty much worked out the goaltending issues in Colorado. Blackwood is injured, so it looks like it's going to be it'll be Wedgwood starting. And the guy last season, Andrew, had a very good record. 14, 6, and 2, 232 goals against average, 908 save percentage. And this is a guy who is basically the number 2 with number 1 numbers. So that duo, if they can build off of last season, that duo is going to help this team. And then you've got the guys like McKinnon and Makar and Necas, who they picked up from Carolina. No white noise over this team, obviously with Rantanen gone. So we'll see what we get out of Colorado. Now, can they win opening night? Again, guys, it's a tough one. It's a coin flip, but I would lean to Colorado in this one. Prior to the LA Kings winning the last 2 games at home, where they faced the Colorado Avalanche, Colorado had won 6 games in LA. They travel well. And I think at this price, minus 110, I'm perfectly happy with giving you guys a lean on Colorado on this one and go one step further. I love this price. I bet it last night, whether it happens or not. Anytime goal scorer is always tough. But Gabriel Landeskog plus 280. I'm getting almost 3-1 for him to score a goal on opening night. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm not laying any vig. And if they get some power plays, I'm hoping him, Makar, and McKinnon can get it going. McKinnon's a good setup guy as well too. So we'll see what happens. But
underrated playmaking, Carm. Underrated playmaking. Yes. So I like that. Get Landy back in the win column as far as some goals here. Get him back in some goals. I saw he got in a fight in the preseason. That's how you know Captain Landeskog is back. He's already fighting in the preseason. I get a player prop in this one as well. I'm going to go with Cale Makar, power play point, plus 180. Some books have plus 190 as well. He's like minus 200 to get an anytime point, but he is plus 190 or 80 to get a power play point. He's the quarterback of the power play. He's pretty much out there for a minute and a half on each power play. This team is so fast and dangerous. They do get to the power play quite often. And when I look at this matchup, I do think we'll see some physicality. And physicality, of course, leads to power plays. So if you want to get involved and you want to take some type of prop with Cale Makar versus looking at, individual point 5-on-5, the power play point is really good at plus 180. So I really like this. And I think that, you're going to look at these power play points this year for some of these sharp teams. And that's the way to avoid. Last year, I was betting team totals a lot to avoid laying vig. And that's the same thing I'm going to do with player props. I'm going to try and find ways to avoid betting the big juiced odds. So That's what we'll do.
Yeah.
All right, guys, put any questions that you want in the live chat. We'll take anything.
I will answer one, Andrew.
Yep.
I'll answer one. Let's go. Let go to get a grip or something like that. He asked, when are we even going to start charging to watch this channel? We're not charging to watch this channel, but if Johnny Detroit is watching, our fearless leader, he will tell you or put in there about being a WagerTalk insider, because I believe you get a lot of the GOAT, Johnny's stuff, his blackjack ones, his live betting stuff. You get all access to that one, where other people, if you click on the link, you won't be able to get in. So becoming a WagerTalk insider to access that, and that thing's like about $1,000.
Oh boy, Carm. Oh boy.
Oh man.
Come on,
I love
Carm.
it. Carm, where'd your hair go? You know where my hair is gone? When you're a Sabres fan, when you're a Bills fan, you don't have time for hair products. You pull your hair out all season long. I pulled my hair out last night because I had the Chiefs -3.5.
Oh,
and
man.
they just choked that game away. My God, what the hell? Trevor Lawrence fell to the ground at the 6-yard line. He was like those commercials. I've fallen and I can't get up. And he pressed his little button for help. And then he got up and walked into the end zone. Like, what the hell? Anyways, this is a hockey show, but I am going to go watch some Sabre games this year. I am going to travel the U.S. watching some World Cup games. I will have it all online for you guys. And if I'm visiting a state and a stadium where you guys are, I'm going to let you guys know, meet up and have some drinks on me.
There we go, Carm. World Cup, man. It's going to be a big time. Vito asking, I like to ask every NHL season, what sites or tools do you use for accurate daily lineup stats, updates for teams throughout the season? I'll just say that I like to use Daily Faceoff. I think that's a really good one for updated lines. You can use Left Wing Lock. That's a really good one. As far as goalies are concerned, I use goaliepost.com. Gives you updated goalie starting info. Also gives you the reporter that reported it, which is super nice. And you and I both use a lot of the same info sites, but there's all kinds of great stuff to look at. Any one or two you want to shout out there, Carm?
Yeah, you know what I mean? As the trends, and, let the trend be your friend, as they say, but it's too, obviously it's early. The season's starting. You want to look at last year's numbers, you can, because it gives you that option. But a place like EV Analytics, just register an account there. I believe it's free. And, they'll charge for the deeper dive stuff, but you can check things like a team's record, home and away, or individual, or both, for first periods, for full games. And you can see there are trends that set in. You'll see a team, you know what I mean? Like I talked a couple of years ago about betting against the New Jersey Devils money line at home, taking the dog, because New Jersey at one point was something like 3-13 after 20 minutes. They don't start the games well. So you could take advantage of those and make some money before the Brooks juice them. So EV Analytics is a good one. StatMuse is good as well too, where you guys can get info like shots on goal. You can punch in NHL 2024-25 season or 25-26 shots on goal allowed, and it'll give you the from top to bottom. It will leave out a little portion of it because, again, it's a subscriber site, but if you have an account there, you can still see some good info.
StatMuse is great. I like StatMuse, Carm. Yeah, it's good.
So it's always good to as I say, guys, is to do a little bit of homework. We're trying to help you out a little bit, but if you want to become a serious NHL better in general, listen to the shows, get our thought process on how we go about games, watch WagerTalk today as well too. And you can sort of establish, a line of thinking. You don't have to follow the same line, but it might help you get your own line of thinking on how to get to a winner.
I love this. I had Dodgers money line, Cubs game over, and a Chiefs in a parlay. I almost duplex somebody.
Jay, this is where you go outside and kick a swirl.
Yeah,
no
it
kicking
happens.
squirrels today, but
Our guy Lou,
it's what
shout out to
happens.
Lou, so supportive, always appreciate him. He says, just for fun, how many screens do you guys have up during the season? At least 3, I would say. I usually have either my best bet of the night or the game that I'm a fan of the most. So tonight, the Blue Jays will be on the center screen, and the 2 smaller screens will have Rangers, Penguins, and Panthers, Blackhawks. I got to be a fan, Carm. It's healthy for us to all be a fan. We sports bet every day. Main TV, Blue Jays, Yankees. Secondary monitors, we will have Hawks, Panthers, Rangers, Penguins. What about you? I mean, I know you're a busy guy
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, let me tell you this first of all, Andrew. I think Ariel Epstein, who's a huge Yankees and Ravens fan, I don't think she's ever going to talk to me again. I sent her a text message at like 1:30 in the morning. I'm like, "Hey, Ariel, you up?" And she's like, "Yeah, what's up?" I go, "Well, the Yankees aren't up." And then the LOL, and then that's it. I think I've been blocked on all social media channels.
Oh,
She is
boy.
a diehard Yankees fan. I got to do it. Sometimes you have to have some fun with your friends. But she took me to a Yankees game when Joe and I were in town to watch the Phillies and Yankees. She's great. If you haven't given her a follow yet, she has a YouTube channel as well too. Prop Queen. Give her a follow there as well too. But with that said, Andrew, the NHL promo, I think, is fantastic. You have plays up for the NHL today. I do not have plays up, and I'll be honest with my subscribers, because I have quite a few that have signed on. I likely won't have a card up today, but I will have a card up tomorrow and Thursday. Thursday is just like a monster NHL day, and we're going to have a lot of plays up. Slow and steady wins the race. This is my plans this season. I'm going to go to Detroit. I'm going to watch some Red Wing games. I'm going to go to Buffalo. I'm going to watch some Sabres games. It is actually cheaper to travel than to go downtown Toronto, 45 minutes from where I am, to watch a Leafs game. It is absolutely ridiculous.
You hate to see that. This comment,
and
sad background. Yeah, my background looks like I'm working for CRA. That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Look, wait, hold on, Carm. Hold on. I think this is good to do stuff with this.
No.
I'm going to show you something.
If some guy in an orange jumpsuit walks behind you there with like towels, I'm going to be a little bit worried.
I was gifted this unbelievable background by somebody, and the glass broke. Okay, guys, I'm showing you this right now on the air. I have glass on my floor right now from trying to hang it up. So this will be up behind me. It looks really nice, but we got to get that up on the wall. All right, we got to wrap it up, Carm. Guys, this is awesome. Love interacting with all of you. I thought it was a really good flow today. Hockey is back. We're back. NHL 200 to get $200 off our NHL season passes. If you're watching on YouTube, pump up those likes, guys. It really helps us out. PuckTime is back. We got the most loyal following on WagerTalk. At least we think so. Do us a favor. Hit the like button. Follow Carmine at Carmine Bianco WT, myself at McInnis Picks, and that will do it for episode 1 of the season. Best of luck, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.